Before we begin, take a deep breath and imagine a life where money flows smoothly, where you wake up without anxiety and every dollar quietly works for you. That's the life Ramit Sethi calls a rich life, and here, we'll uncover the exact roadmap to reach it. But before we start, hit subscribe and turn on the bell icon, because we bring you the world's most powerful books that can change your life, one idea at a time. Imagine sitting at your kitchen table late at night, bills scattered around, your mind heavy with questions. Where did all my money go? Why do I feel like I'm working hard but never getting ahead? This is where Ramit Sethi's I Will Teach You to Be Rich begins, not with numbers or jargon, but with the truth that most people's relationship with money is emotional, messy, and built on fear or avoidance. Ramit doesn't try to shame you for not knowing how to invest or budget. Instead, he tells you that being rich is not about having millions, it's about designing a life you love on your own terms. The word rich here is deeply personal. For one person, it might mean buying lattes every morning without guilt. For another, it might mean traveling first class, retiring early, or helping family back home. The book is a journey from confusion to clarity, from guilt to control, and Ramit is the brutally honest, funny friend who drags you there. Ramit begins by exposing the myths of personal finance, the lies we've been told. He mocks the idea of cutting out every small pleasure, like that $3 coffee, calling it a waste of energy. Instead of obsessing over saving pennies, he pushes you to focus on the big wins, the decisions that actually change your financial life forever. Things like automating your money, negotiating your bills, investing early, and choosing the right credit cards. He says, it's not about willpower, it's about systems. And that's what makes his philosophy revolutionary. He wants you to stop relying on motivation and start relying on automation. Imagine your money flowing like a river, automatically splitting into savings, investments, and spending accounts, while you sleep peacefully knowing it's all handled. He starts with credit cards, a topic most people fear. But Ramit flips it. Credit cards, he says, are powerful tools when used wisely. They build your credit score, earn rewards, and even protect your purchases. But only if you treat them with discipline. He tells you to pay them off in full every month, set up automatic payments, and pick cards with high benefits and no hidden fees. The magic of a great credit score, he explains, is that it silently changes your financial life. You get lower interest rates, better insurance premiums, and more freedom. It's not sexy, but it's power. He even teaches you to negotiate with banks, call them, he says, and ask for a lower April or annual fee. You'd be surprised how often they say yes. It's the confidence of knowing your money obeys you, not the other way around. Then, Ramit dives into the psychology of spending. Most of us are told to stop spending, to feel guilt every time we swipe our card. But Ramit teaches you to spend extravagantly on the things you love and cut mercilessly on the things you don't. He calls this the conscious spending plan. It's not about restriction, it's about clarity. He wants you to stop feeling bad about your morning latte if that's what brings you joy. Instead, find your money leaks, subscriptions you forgot about, dinners you don't enjoy, gadgets you don't need, and redirect that money into what truly lights you up. The idea is simple yet profound. Happiness isn't in hoarding money, it's in aligning money with meaning. But the real transformation begins when Ramit teaches you the power of automation. This is where his rich life system truly shines. Imagine your paycheck landing in your account. Instantly, without you doing a thing, it divides. A portion goes into your savings account, another into your investment account, another into your guilt-free spending account, and the rest toward fixed expenses like rent or bills. No spreadsheets. No manual transfers. No stress. Ramit calls this the invisible engine of wealth. Because the truth is, humans are lazy, and that's okay. Automation saves us from ourselves. When you automate, you don't have to think about saving, it just happens. Over time, those small consistent deposits turn into a quiet empire. Next, he tackles the fear that paralyzes so many people, investing. Ramit doesn't talk like a Wall Street analyst. He talks like your friend explaining how to finally grow your money without losing sleep. He demystifies it. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to start. He explains how time, not timing, is the secret weapon of the rich. Every year you delay investing, you lose thousands in compound growth. He breaks it down simply: index funds, target date funds, Roth IRAs, 401(k)s. The words that once felt intimidating suddenly become tools you can use. His advice is clear: start now, automate contributions, and let compound interest do the heavy lifting. The earlier you start, the less you need to save. It's not about luck, it's about discipline. Ramit also believes that being rich is not just about saving or investing, it's about earning more. He shows you that cutting costs has limits, but increasing your income doesn't. He teaches you how to find side hustles, negotiate raises, and monetize your skills. He says, you can't out-frugal your way to wealth. This is where the book starts feeling like a game changer. Ramit shares stories of people who stopped obsessing over coupons and instead focused on building value. Freelancers who doubled their income, employees who finally asked for the raise they deserved, and entrepreneurs who turned small ideas into big wins. The message is clear: stop being scared of money. Learn to command it. Then comes his perspective on banking. Ramit despises outdated banks that trap people with fees and red tape. He urges you to find high-interest online savings accounts and use them smartly. Each account, he says, should have a purpose: one for emergencies, one for long-term goals, one for fun. This division gives your money direction. It's like giving every dollar a job. And then there's the emergency fund, your financial safety net. Life happens, cars break down, jobs change, health surprises you. But when you have an emergency fund, fear disappears. You don't panic, you respond. That's the quiet confidence of the rich. The book also digs deep into the emotional side of money: the guilt, the shame, the invisible scripts we carry from childhood. Ramit challenges you to confront them. Maybe you grew up hearing money doesn't grow on trees, or rich people are greedy. These beliefs shape how you earn and spend, often subconsciously. He invites you to rewrite your story. You are allowed to be rich. You are allowed to live beautifully. You are allowed to design a life where money serves you, not controls you. This emotional unblocking is where real wealth begins, not in your bank account, but in your mindset. One of the most powerful sections is where Ramit talks about big wins. Most people obsess over daily expenses, but Ramit says, focus on the few decisions that create massive long-term impact. Automate your savings and investments, choose the right credit cards, negotiate your salary, and avoid debt traps. These few moves can set you up for decades. It's the 80-20 rule of finance. 20% of your actions create 80% of your wealth. And once you've handled these big levers, you can stop worrying about every small thing. Financial peace, he says, comes when your system runs itself. Then he goes beyond numbers, into relationships and lifestyle. How do you talk about money with your partner? How do you plan shared goals without conflict? Ramit opens the door to the deeper truth. Money is emotional, especially in love. He encourages couples to talk openly about spending habits, dreams, and fears. To replace judgment with curiosity. He shares how many couples fight not about money, but about what money represents: security, freedom, or identity. His advice is disarmingly simple: talk early, automate jointly, and dream together. A rich life is built with transparency, not secrecy. Ramit also dives into the psychology of long-term satisfaction. He says, there's no finish line in being rich. The goal isn't to accumulate endlessly, but to design a life that feels rich every day. He encourages you to plan guilt-free spending for joy, trips, hobbies, experiences, gifts. The irony is, when you manage your money intentionally, you can finally stop thinking about it. That's the real freedom. You stop chasing and start living. Money becomes a quiet ally, not a constant worry. Throughout the book, Ramit's voice is unapologetically bold. He doesn't sugarcoat. He makes fun of excuses like "I'll start investing next year" or "I'm not good with money." He says, you don't need to be good with money. You need to start. Every chapter feels like a push, a tough love pep talk mixed with actionable steps. It's not theory, it's a playbook. He gives you exact scripts to use with banks, sample automation setups, and examples of how small consistent steps create unstoppable momentum. He wants you to build your money machine, something that runs even while you're busy living. He also emphasizes the importance of tracking. You can't improve what you don't measure. Ramit encourages you to review your finances monthly, not obsessively, but consciously. Look at your spending patterns. Check if your automation still fits your goals, and make adjustments. Wealth, he says, isn't built overnight. It's built through awareness, consistency, and intentional design. Like fitness, the results come quietly, then all at once. In the later part of the book, Ramit challenges the concept of retirement. He says, why wait until you're 65 to enjoy your money? Instead, he advocates for living your rich life now. Maybe that means working remotely from another country, taking Fridays off, or starting a passion project. He calls it conscious indulgence. The key is that you plan for it. You save for it. You make it real, not reckless. The rich don't wait for permission, they design their freedom. Another striking moment in the book is when Ramit talks about fear, the fear of losing money, of investing wrong, of not being enough. He says fear is natural but useless if it keeps you stuck. The solution is education and small action. Open an account. Invest $100. Build the muscle. With each step, fear fades and confidence grows. He calls this the snowball of riches. Every small win builds momentum for the next. Before you know it, you're not just saving, you're thriving. As the book draws toward its emotional close, Ramit brings everything back to purpose. He asks, what does your rich life look like? Maybe it's a home filled with art. Maybe it's supporting your parents. Maybe it's financial independence by 40. Whatever it is, write it down. Visualize it. Then align your systems toward it. Because without a vision, money is meaningless. But when you know your why, every dollar becomes a vote for your dream life. He ends with stories of people who transformed their lives with his 6-week program. Ordinary people, a couple who cleared debt and took their dream honeymoon, a student who started investing with just $50, a freelancer who finally felt in control. These stories feel cinematic because they're real, filled with struggle, discipline, and liberation. They remind you that wealth isn't reserved for the privileged. It's available to anyone who decides to take control. And when you close the book, you realize I Will Teach You to Be Rich isn't really about money. It's about reclaiming your power. It's about rejecting the idea that life happens to you and instead creating a system that serves you. It's about turning money from a source of stress into a source of joy. Ramit's voice lingers, confident, teasing, yet empowering. Don't wait. Start now. Be rich in money, yes, but also in freedom, confidence, and choice. The cinematic essence of this book lies not in numbers but in transformation. The quiet dignity of someone who once feared their bank balance now walking with ease, knowing every dollar has a destination. The freedom of buying something without guilt. The peace of having enough. The pride of building wealth consciously. That is what it means to be rich. It's not a fantasy, it's a system, and it starts today, with you. And that's the secret Ramit Sethi wants you to know. Money isn't about greed or fear. It's about design. It's about creating a system that lets you live fully, freely, and richly. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start with the next paycheck, the next decision, the next small habit. Because every small move towards control is a move towards peace. If this story inspired you, hit subscribe and tell us what your rich life looks like. Until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and remember, being rich isn't about having more, it's about living better.